We've now finished the second phase of the entrepreneurial life cycle, which is to listen. Listen to your customers about what their problems are, and listen to your partners about how they can solve your problems. If there's a single takeaway we want you to leave with, it's that once you think you've come up with your big idea, you have to get out of your office to start gathering the information you'll need to turn your idea into a sustainable venture. In most cases, you'll learn that what you wanted to sell doesn't quite solve your customers' problems, and you'll need to pivot to meet their needs. We'll talk much more about pivoting in a future module, but for now, just recognize you can't know when you need to pivot if you don't know your customers. And the only way to know your customers is to listen. It's important to note that even when you go on to the next phase of the entrepreneurial life cycle, you should never stop this phase. As your venture evolves, you want to constantly get out of the office and ask, who are your customers? What are their problems? How much would they value a solution? Who are your partners? Can your partners provide the elements needed for you to solve your customers' problems? Your customers' needs will change over time, and the only way for you to find out is to ask them. New suppliers will revolutionize how your industry does business, and the firm that can take advantage of them will gain strategic leverage. You never want to stop listening to your customers or your suppliers. One thing that's worth noting is that not every customer is created the same. In many cases, by listening to your potential customers, you're going to realize that it doesn't make sense to give every customer everything they want. Sometimes this is the case because the customer simply isn't willing to pay what the solution costs. In other cases, solving a particular problem may make it hard or even impossible to continue to provide a good or service that other customers value highly. In our next module, we're going to talk about strategically positioning yourself for a limited group of customers. In short, if your idea is successful, at some point you'll have to fire a set of customers because the process of meeting their needs will be detrimental to the success of your enterprise. The last thing we want to mention is that you won't necessarily need to spend the same amount of time listening to customers and suppliers. As we continue with the entrepreneurial life cycle, we'll find that certain strategies will require more or less information concerning each side of the value proposition. When your strategy focuses heavily on a low-cost alternative to a widely used product, then your relationship with your suppliers will be of fundamental importance. And understanding your customers might be relatively easier. Likewise, if your strategy is heavily customer-focused, then understanding your customers will be the most important thing you can possibly do. With that, we now encourage you to get up from your computer, leave your office, and listen. You'll be amazed at the insights you'll gain. After you realize what you thought you wanted to sell isn't what your customers want, you'll soon start seeing opportunities you never realized were there. We can't stress enough that no entrepreneur ever said they spent too much time listening to the customer, and the best time to start is now.